Good evening and welcome. This is Whole and Beautiful. I am Angela Oliphant and I am your host for tonight. And I am so glad that you all have joined me tonight for another night of information, revelation, and change. How is everyone's Friday on tonight? When you come in, let me know how your Friday is going. Um, my Friday has been very busy and I'm looking forward to just relaxing some this evening and then maybe relaxing a little bit tomorrow. But I got a lot planned for tomorrow too, so it seems like it's going to be another busy weekend. But it's good to be busy. It's good to have things to do, but then it's also good to take time to slow down and spend some time with you, right? Tonight is going to be another great night. I have some information for you all that I want to share with you. It's nothing like, real deep information and it's just some things that I found out and that I wanted to share with you because why it's worth saying. It is worth saying to you. Sometimes we overlook little things and we say, you know what, that's not worth the time or the energy to speak about or talk about. But when I find these little facts here and there, I love to share them with you because it may make you go and dig a little deeper, find out something else that you can talk about. It can be a great conversation starter. It can, if you go in and you study it a little bit more, you may have more information than what I give you on tonight, and you'll be able to take the conversation to another level. It's good to go out and find out different things, and I love information. Hi, Miss A, how are you doing? I am so glad that you joined me on tonight. Um, we're just going to share a little bit of information on tonight. And when I share this information with you, if you have something to add to it, please put it in the comment section. Let me know if you got something to add to what I'm talking about tonight, because this is information that I looked up and I was like, oh, that's interesting. Because sometimes we see things happen like in the world today, and sometimes we see things happen even in our families. And you wonder, sometimes people don't even wonder. They're like, okay, that's just the way we are, that's just what we do. But I like to dig and I like to find out why are we doing this and what is going on. So my thing tonight is I wanted to share with you all some facts that I found out about Thanksgiving and some facts that I found out about daylight savings time. You know, daylight savings time is happening this weekend. It would be nice to kind of know why we're doing this and where did it come from, and and all of that. And I was like, it shocked me some of the things that I found out, and then even some of the things about Thanksgiving that is coming up on the latter end of this month. I found out some good things about that too, and it's worth saying. Why? Because, like I said, information is powerful. You never know that little bit of information that you may receive on tonight. It may change your whole, perspective on some things. It may make you dig a little bit deeper and find out some other things. And it's if for nothing else, it's some great conversation. Yeah, because you can get in there, you can begin to talk to people, you can begin to share your information. It helps you. It just helps you. So I want you to chime in tonight if you have those little tidbits of information that you say, oh, I can add to that. I know a little bit more about that. Then put it in the comment section. Or if there is a topic that you're saying, hey, I would like to know more about that, send me an email at wholebeautiful@gmail.com. You know why? Because it's worth saying. So go ahead and send me that so I'll know that that's the topic you want to talk about. And we can go in and we can research it. We can find out everything that we can and we will bring it to you. Hey, Linda, how are you doing? Good evening to you. I am glad that y'all are here with me on tonight. My first thing, I was trying to decide which way I'm going to go. We're going to start with daylight savings time, guys, because I was like, this was interesting to me when I looked up this information. I was like, really? Really? We've been doing this for how long? And it started because why? Okay, let's start with our first part of It's Worth Saying. It's worth saying, guys. It's worth saying. The first thing that I found out about daylight savings time, that it started out as a joke. Y'all hear me? It was a joke. It was not even something that somebody sat down and really like thought through. It was started out as a joke. And by Benjamin Franklin, y'all know him. Y'all like to have a lot of him in y'all pocket and in y'all bank accounts. But he's on $100 bill. But Ben Franklin started this in 1784 with an essay that was published in the newspaper. And what he was doing was he was poking fun, because he was saying, what if we gave people like an extra hour to work and be productive, because he wasn't being serious about it, but he was saying that'll help maximize the amount of sunlight for them, and that they can work more, that they would have more time to work, because he was saying that people were being lazy and that they were not working. And if they gave them an extra hour, maybe they could be productive, and they have some more sunlight so that they can work a little bit harder and be productive. But he wrote it in an essay, and it was historians that have looked at it said that it was like a poke fun joke. It was like a joke. He was really like making fun of people who had the laid back approach to work. He was like, well, maybe if we just give y'all one more hour during the day, y'all will work a little bit harder and stop being all laid back and not work like you're supposed to. Maybe you'll be a little bit productive. Now that blew me away. I was like, really? Really? He put it in an essay as a poke fun joke. And then somebody started taking it seriously. And it became a law. I mean, it became something that we do every single year. And I was like, really? And then after he did that, we're going to go to number 2. After he did that, it was an entomologist, which is a bug person that studies bugs. He began to push the idea, because he was like, if we do this, then he said that it will reduce the exposure to bugs that can make your work more difficult. So it's like, okay, you're going to kill off the bugs or whatever, so it will be better for us to work out there. So the entomologists pressed it and pushed it, but they was like, no, we're not going to do it. We're not going to do it. Even though he pushed at it, they did not do it. And then people started talking about it. They started talking about, would this be something that we can do? What is it? How is it going to benefit us? They were looking at the benefits of it, and they really started it. And I know it was like, and part of it was to give like the farmers that extra time. But if you read a little bit more in there, the farmers were against it. They didn't want, that was like them getting up at dark and going to bed at dark, and they didn't really want the daylight savings time. I was like, wow. I'm here thinking, that the farmers was the one that was pushing it, but they were not the ones that were pushing it. Ben Franklin had a lot of influence. Yes, amazing. Yes, Linda. That's what I was looking at too. He had major influence, because he just said that in an essay. And how many times do we think that we don't have influence, and we think that what we say don't matter? What have you put out there in the atmosphere that, could turn things around or change something? You jokingly say something, and because of your influence, people start harping on that bandwagon, and then right after that, everything starts to change, even in the government, where the government sets it up. I'm like, oh my goodness. He had major, major influence. And they begin to discuss it. They begin to talk about, could it help us with the energy? And then when World War I began, they began to look at it as like, you know what, this may help us. This may help save some lives if we had a little bit more daylight and we did this and we did this. So they started discussing it on the government level. Here it is, this man writes something in an essay, not even like a report that he did or even covering a story, He wrote it as an essay, put it in the paper. Then this entomologist starts to push it. And then they start to think about it. It might work. It might work if we do this. Maybe we can be a little bit more productive. But the one thread that I found out in looking at all of this is they were trying to find another way to make money. They wanted money, money, money. And they wanted to see if they could like save energy, like save them some money. Like, you don't need to be exposed to too much artificial light. Let's get you some more sunlight. And it's just so many different things that entailed in this daylight savings time. But what stuck out to me is the thing started as a joke. And really, it in the United States didn't really like take it on until like the mid 1970s. It was in 1970s when they started. Here I am thinking daylight savings time been going on for a long time. But here in the United States, from what I've read, it started in the 1970s. Here, I'm like, wow. Because I thought it was way back when. But in some other countries, they started before the United States started. The United States was one of the ones that came in late at the end and joined in with what everybody else was doing. But in the beginning, they did not. So I'm like, wow, that's around the time I was born that they started it. And here I am thinking, that it started way back when. Nope. It didn't start as far back as I thought it would. It started. And I started digging even more deeper because I wanted to know. I was like, why do they do it at 2 a.m.? It's like, why? Why are you doing this at 2 a.m. in the morning when everybody in the bed? When everybody's asleep? And you know why they did it at 2 a.m., guys? Ask me why. They did it, except it's the same reason that I just told you. It's the same thing, because everyone would be asleep and it would cause less confusion. They wanted everybody to be asleep when the time changed, so it would cause less confusion. I'm like, really? I'm thinking that it's some deep thing, Yeah, Linda, you asked why. They thinking that it's this. I'm thinking in my head, guys, that this is like this deep, thing, or, some kind of scientific method or whatever. I don't know what was going on in my mind, but they did it at 2 a.m. because most people are asleep. And it would cause less confusion than doing it up during the day. And why do they do it on the weekend? They do it on the weekend because most people are home on the weekend and they're not out and about and doing stuff. So that's why they did it. It wasn't this deep thing. It was because y'all gonna be asleep. Ain't nobody gonna be out on the road. Ain't nobody gonna be out doing stuff. A majority of people are gonna be laying down. They're gonna be resting. They're gonna be getting their sleep in. We can do it then. That way it will cause less confusion with switching the time. And they wouldn't do it during the week because they was like, everybody's out, everybody's working, everybody, out and about doing stuff, and it would cause confusion. So you know what? We're not gonna do it during the week either. We're gonna do it on the weekend when the majority of people are at home. I had to sit back and look at that and say, really? Because I'm thinking, I always wonder, and I never went and looked it up. I always wonder why some random 2:00 in the morning. Why you just don't do it at 12 o'clock and just switch everything at 12 o'clock? That's what I was thinking. But I found out why. They was like, oh, a lot of people may not be asleep at 12. Let's push it on to 2 o'clock. Majority of people be asleep that then. They just can change their clock before they go to bed. That way it won't cause confusion. And we're still here. It's like this thing has been set, it's been set. And I'm like, oh my goodness, let me see what Linda had said up here because I it says, she says, oh, here we are today, still dealing with this. Yep. Just read an article today that the Senate is in agreement within it, but the House doesn't see it as a priority currently. Yeah, because we're in this thing now where they're saying, okay, we're gonna stop it all. We're gonna stop it all, And I am like, oh my goodness, they're gonna stop it. They say they are. We're gonna see what's gonna happen. Yeah, things are rarely as deep as we try and make. Yes, Miss A, that's what I'm figuring out now. It's like I'm thinking, this great mind came up with this for some other, and it started out as a joke. Somebody else said, that might work. And they pushed it a little bit. And this thing we've been doing it forever. We're here in the United States. We've been doing it for about 50 something years because that's where I am, And they started in the mid 70s. So it's been like 50, maybe 40 years that they've really been doing it. And I was like, oh my goodness. And I'm thinking, that is so deep. But you know what? When you go and you start looking up stuff, you start realizing, just like Ms. A said, it ain't as deep as what we thought. And here we are, like Linda was saying, still dealing with the same stuff today. Now people trying to say, we don't need it, get rid of it. And they got the debate about it. It's like, it started as a joke, people. I mean, what more do you need? And some people say, well, you get more sleep. That's not necessarily so. It's not necessarily so that you're going to get more sleep. Everybody be like, oh, you got that extra hour. And then some people be like, well, that's going to mess up your sleep pattern. It messes up people's sleep pattern, and they have to get back on their sleep patterns. And it's causing it. They have this whole big debate going about daylight savings time. And it all started as a joke. The things that you learn when you go and pick up a book or get on the internet, I am like, oh my goodness, this is like news to me. And I don't know, it was just interesting to me to sit there and say, you know what, we've been doing this for years, and it started as a joke. What type of influence do you have in somebody else's life? What type of influence do you have in your community, in your family? Because some things that we do because we've seen other people do it, but we don't even know why we do it. It's like we don't even know. I was I don't even know who. Yep, many states, they don't participate. And there's no real need for it. A lot of states opted out and said, you know what, we're not doing this. And that's what they didn't do it. So, but we kept right on, South Carolina and North Carolina and some of the other states that do it, they kept right on in there doing it. But now they're getting ready to change it. And it's just like what I was just saying about we follow after people. We just follow what they do, and we don't know why, and we don't know what's going on. And we think some people may be thinking like I was thinking, it was just this deep thing that was going on. The reason why I went the way it went. No, because I heard a story, and I can't even remember where I heard that from, but I'm going to share it with y'all anyway. It's just a little short story, but they were talking about Thanksgiving. That is good because it's coming in with a Thanksgiving theme, but they were talking about Thanksgiving, and when the woman, she was cooking the turkey, and she would take the turkey, but before she would do anything to that turkey, she would cut the legs off, and she would cut like the wings and everything, and she would just put mainly like the breast part and all that. She would put it in a pot, to fix that, and then she would put the other parts of the turkey in another pot and cook it that way. And then her daughter began to cook it the same way. She began to cook her turkey just like her mama did, and then the next one cooked just like their mama did. And so somebody asked them, why are you cutting that turkey up and putting it in another pan like that? And she was like, that's the way I was taught. That's what was done. And different I'm sorry guys, I froze for a minute there. But is if it's in these different pots, it's going to cook better. It's gonna be better. And then she went to go ask her mom, and her mom said, well, I don't know. That's the way your grandmother did it. That's why I did it that way. So they went and they asked the grandmother. They was like, why did you cook your turkey like that? Is there some specific reason? Is that, does that make it taste better? Is it more juicier? Is it this? Is it that? And she said, no. She said the pan that I had to cook the turkey in was too small. It was too small. So she would cut the legs and stuff off so she could get the turkey, the bigger size of the turkey, in the pot. And she would put it in others, in the smaller ones, because she didn't have a pan big enough to cook the whole turkey in. But they carried it on for generations down. They carried it on and never knew why. And it's good to know why. It's like, why are we having this? This is the reason why. It was a joke. And it stayed around for, in the United States, over 40 something years, over close to like 50 years. It's been rolling. I thought it was interesting. It really opened my eyes, and I was like, okay, that's some good information to know that this started as a joke. But let's move on. Let's talk a little bit about Thanksgiving, since we got Thanksgiving coming up. I thought it'd be nice to find out some like different things about Thanksgiving, because sometimes we think things come from, like I said, a place that in our head is like, oh, this majestic idea, and it's really not. Um, One thing that I did find out, and I had knew this, but I hadn't seen it like written down, right? I had heard people talk about it. It was saying that historians have no record of turkey being eaten at the first Thanksgiving. Everybody say, it was turkey there. They don't have a record of turkey being eaten at the first Thanksgiving, and that was like in 1621. What they did have record of people, they had duck, they had geese. They even had swan. They even had swan, but no turkey. There was no turkey. There was no turkey. And where we get that from, I am still trying to find out. If anybody got some information out there, let me know. Because I was like, where did they come up with the turkey? And again, guys, now it's how many things do we do thinking? Yeah, thinking is essential for a great purpose, only to realize it's something trivial. Yes, that's what I was realizing. I was like, But again, guys, think about this though. Ben Franklin, in the first story about daylight savings time, he wrote this essay, right? Wrote the essay, people went for it and went on. Now, the same Ben Franklin, he wanted the turkey to be the national bird because he felt like there was a more respectable bird than the eagle. I was like, wow. But that didn't go over for Ben. He didn't get his way with that one. They have the eagle, but he wanted the turkey to be the nation's bird because he said that it was a more respectable bird to represent the United States. How many of us, like with the first Macy's Day Parade, some of us, we get up and that's on Thanksgiving and stuff, and we watch that Macy's Day Parade. We watch it from beginning to end. And what I found out was that with the first Macy's Day Parade that aired, they had Central park zoo animals instead of inflatables. They didn't have inflatables then. That was in 1924. They did real live animals that walked in the parade. I was like, wow. Now you have your inflatables and everybody looking for the big inflatables and that come through. And question trivia for you guys: what is the number one, like, what cartoon character has the most appearances in the Macy's Day Parade? We're gonna come back to it. I'm gonna see if anybody will guess first. But what cartoon character has the most appearances in the Macy's Day Parade? Oh man, think about it. Put it out there, and I'll come back to that one in a little bit, and let y'all know which cartoon characters. Um, let's see what else I wanted to share with you. Oh, this threw me too. This threw me. Jingle bells. You know the song Jingle Bells, Jingle Bells, Jingle. Yeah, that one. It was a Thanksgiving Day song, y'all. It was a Thanksgiving Day song. And the name of the song is One Horse Open Sleigh. Thanksgiving song. It was intended, the composer of the song intended it to be a Thanksgiving Day song. Written in 1857. They wanted it to be Thanksgiving, but it turned into a Christmas song. And the title of it was changed in 1859. So 2 years after he wrote it, 2 years after he wrote it, it was changed to Jingle Bells. And it was named One Horse Open Sleigh. And it was supposed to be a Thanksgiving song. Oh, and Christmas took it over. I was like, that is interesting. Let's see what we have. Okay, Miss A says Peanuts was the most made the most appearances in the Macy's Day Parade, and Linda said it was Mickey. Because she said, I don't watch the parade. Miss A, you are correct, but there was one character on the Peanuts that showed up the most, and that was Snoopy. Snoopy has had the most appearances in the Macy's Day Parade. But she right, guys, it's Peanuts, I was like, wow. Snoopy done showed up a lot in the Macy's Day Parades. And I thought that was interesting too. But the song Jingle Bells, I was like, oh my goodness, it wasn't even Jingle Bells. It's One Horse Open Sleigh was the original name of the song. And it was a Thanksgiving Day song. Wow. Just some things it's worth saying. See, you can talk about that at your Thanksgiving meal with your family, your friends. Did y'all know that Jingle Bells were really a Christmas song? It is a Thanksgiving song. that was nice. I was like, oh, wow. The things we find out. And then Thanksgiving was once celebrated on the third Thursday of November. President Roosevelt tried it, but it didn't work. He wanted to change it to the third Thursday of November instead of having it the fourth Thursday, and it didn't work. So they put it back where it was. He tried that like in 1939. So he tried to switch the day, but it didn't work. So they were like, no, we're gonna keep it where it is. That was like, okay. Oh, Miss A. Oh goodness. But yeah, it's something. I was like, oh man, okay. President Roosevelt tried to change the day, but it didn't work. They kept it at the same day. These are just some good little tidbits of information. I'm like, man, but I keep going back to that Jingle Bells girl because I'm like, really? Okay, that's my Thanksgiving song now. But and Butterball Turkey has had the turkey line for almost 40 years. I thought that recently came out, not, like recent, but later than that. I was like, they've been out for 40 years with this Butterball turkey line. So y'all turkey should be right good. You because you can call and talk to this person on the phone and they help you with your Butterball to get your Butterball right. I was like, 40 years that this has been a line that people can call so they can know how to cook their turkey. Oh my goodness. And I didn't think it had been out that long, but it's been almost 40 years that line has been open for you to call in so you can get some guidance on how to cook your turkey for Thanksgiving. No excuses, guys, for that turkey to be dry. No excuses for you not knowing how to do it. You got to call. They probably got video now because we're in this age where you can pull it up online. You probably got a video instructing you step by step how to do it. So you know what? Call the Butterball line. Oh my goodness. These are so fun to me. They really are. But the first professional Thanksgiving Day football game was played in 1920. So that first professional game where it was like it's Thanksgiving Day football, it was played in 1920. So football been out there a minute, guys, where people getting, we're going to watch the game on Thanksgiving Day. So that's all a part of some people's traditions. I am not a big football fan. My dad tried to make us into Dallas Cowboys. He wanted us to play football, and we played football in my mom's house. Yeah, and we broke some things, but you know what? None of us are football players. And from my knowledge, none of us really sit down and watch football like that. But it's been out there since 1920. And one thing too that I did find out was in this, like, oh, now this right here will get you. I'm like, wow. President Calvin Coolidge, which a lot of times we don't hear about Calvin Coolidge, but this fact that I found out, he was the first to pardon a raccoon, y'all. Pardon a raccoon in relation to Thanksgiving. Why? Because somebody gave him a raccoon for his Thanksgiving dinner. They gave him the raccoon to cook for his Thanksgiving dinner. And he and his wife were very partial to animals, and they loved animals, and they didn't want to kill any. So he pardoned the raccoon. And they kept it as a pet. They kept it as a pet. He pardoned the raccoon. I'm like, raccoon? Really? Oh my goodness. Raccoon? Yeah, Linda, I was like, no. For Thanksgiving dinner, no. For any kind of dinner, Oh man, but yes, that was like some fun information to find out. I was like, oh my goodness. And he pardoned the raccoon. He let the raccoon live, and he kept the raccoon as his pet. And that was in November 1926. Yeah. He kept it as his pet. I am like so amazed at these tidbits of information that you find out when you go searching for it. And Thanksgiving, it began as a day of giving thanks for the blessing of the harvest and for the preceding year. It was like thanking God for that blessing of the harvest that year, for all the things that were harvested and came in that year, but then also thanking him for the previous year of what was done. And that's what the thing is, we have to remember to be thankful in all things, everything that even in the midst of everything that we are going through, we have to step aside and say, you know what? I am so thankful. I am thankful for my life. I am thankful for, all these wonderful things that are happening in my life. And things may not be going the way that we want them to go, but you know what? We got to remain thankful. This day, Thanksgiving, that's coming up this month, it was designated in some instances, if you study it out, they had 3 days that was dedicated to Thanksgiving that they celebrated. And then that particular like Thursday was like actual Thanksgiving day, but like that Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday was Thanksgiving holidays, was Thanksgiving. And they would do that to just give thanks for the blessings of the harvest, for what you harvested from your fields, from what you grew, for all the bounty that you received. You are grateful, and grateful for what transpired the year prior. And it looked like we need to get back to growing some things on our own, and being able to thank God for the harvest, because so much is going on in today's world, in today's society. And you know what? I was telling my mom just a few days ago, I was like, you know what? I need to learn how to grow some groceries. I said, I need to contact my sister, Linda, because I need to learn how to grow some groceries. Oh my goodness, because I was like, I need some groceries to grown, going to the store is like, whoo. But even in the midst of all of that, I'm still thankful. November is a thankful month. It's just be thankful all month. Just like people say they celebrate their birthday all month long, girl. I'm be celebrating all month long. Why don't we celebrate and be thankful all month long? Find something every day to be thankful for. Find something every single day of the month of November to say, you know what, God, I thank you. I am so appreciative. I just love the fact that I'm here. I just love the fact that I have a roof over my head, that I'm able to pay this bill, that I'm able to put gas in my vehicle, even though I may not like the gas price. But you know what? I ain't on empty. I am thankful for the things that I do have. And I'm thankful for the things that you're going to bless me with that are coming. But I am so grateful and so thankful. When someone is grateful and they are thankful and they are appreciative, oh my goodness, it's a blessing, not only to that person, but it's a blessing to other people. It's a blessing to me to see somebody else thankful and grateful and appreciative of anything. He would be. That's our cousin Sonny. Yeah, he would be glad to assist because he's growing his vegetables. I tell you, it's like the things that we look at. I think about it now. It's like I was never one to really grow anything. My family will tell y'all. I was like, I'm not real good with plants and stuff. But you know what? I'll seek out the ones who are, so that I can learn how to grow some things. And I see some people who grow just, I mean, like people say they got a green thumb. They do. They just go out there and they do what they do and have all kinds of vegetable groceries. That's not me. But I want to learn. I want to learn. I said maybe I could start out with some herbs and grow me, like some good like thyme and oregano and rosemary. Every day is a day. Yep. Yes. It was a song that we sung with the choir. Every day is a day of Thanksgiving. And it is. Every day is. We don't have to wait until November to do it. But when we step into November, guys, we should be just yelling and screaming and thanking so much, being so thankful within the month of November, because it's been set aside for that. It's been set aside for that. And every day we need to give thanks. Every day is a day of Thanksgiving. I like that. I thank you for reminding me about that, Linda. Every day is a day of Thanksgiving. God's been so good to me. Every day he's blessing me. Every day is a day of thanksgiving. Take the time to glorify the Lord today. And that's what we're going to end up ending at, guys. Every day is a day of Thanksgiving. Take this whole month of November. Find out you some fun facts. Find out some facts about why we celebrate things the way that we do. It doesn't necessarily have to be Thanksgiving. It doesn't necessarily have to be Christmas. It could be some other day during, the year. Why do we do this? Or some things in your family. Why are we doing this? Who started this? Is there a reason behind this? Try to find out. You would be amazed at the things that you would find out if you just search a little, look a little, and say, hey, why are we doing this? Some things you may find out in our history of this world, it started out as a joke. Some things, like Miss A was saying, are not that deep. We thinking it's so deep and spiritual or what, and it's not. It's really not that deep. But what I want you to do is to take this month and just be thankful. Be thankful. Be thankful for what you have. Be thankful for what's on the way. Be thankful for life. Be thankful that you're safe. Be thankful for every breath that you breathe in and that you breathe out. Be thankful. Be thankful, be appreciative, have an attitude of gratitude. If you haven't already started for the month, start this weekend. Start just giving thanks. Start being thankful. Find something every single day to be thankful for. It should be very easy. Although with some people it may be hard, but it should be very easy. Don't think on it too hard. It's just the simple things. The fact that I can snap my finger, I'm thankful. Some people can't do that. The fact that I can sit here and talk to you, some people can't do that. The fact that I can see with assistance of my glasses, some people are not able to do that either. So just be thankful. Don't think too hard on it. Just, oh God, I thank you. Guys, that is all I have for you tonight. I hope you enjoyed tonight's show. I did. I had fun finding out these different things because you know what? It's worth saying, and I wanted to share it with you. So make sure that you have the most amazing weekend. Make sure that you realize that every day is a day of Thanksgiving and that you give thanks every single day. Until we meet again next week at 7 p.m. I am Angela D. Oliphant, allowing you to see, hear, and know that whole and beautiful is not just your destination. It is most definitely your journey. So come walk that journey with me, my whole and beautiful nation, every Friday, 7 p.m., Saturdays at 4. I'll see y'all later. Y'all have the most amazing weekend. Remember, be thankful. Good night.